Saturday, July 28, 2001, 1900 hours. I'm 2 hours into the wedding reception of David Cabell, my best friend. I'm the best man, his best man. Not his really good guy or his pretty awesome dude, his best man. It's a job fraught with responsibility and weighted with trust. But I've been lying to Dave all weekend. I've been keeping a secret from him for months. I lean back in my chair and make eye contact with his younger brother, Junior. Junior and I nod to each other. It's go time. 3 months earlier, Junior had called me out of the blue with an idea. What if we could get Slider, the mascot of the Cleveland Indians baseball team, to show up at Dave's wedding in Palo Alto, California? Now, to be clear, when I say mascot of the Indians, I'm not talking about Chief Wahoo. He's the leering racist caricature who has finally been banned from uniforms. Slider's more like the ballpark party starter, a giant fuzzy monster with purple and yellow polka-dotted fur. He dances, he takes pratfalls, he messes with the umpires. He's a fan favorite. Bringing Slider to the wedding was an awesome idea. First of all, Dave is a baseball nut. He literally wrote a book about it. And we were all Clevelanders. Dave's love of the tribe ran deep. Also, Dave loved a good prank. In high school, we were always messing with each other and our friends just to amuse ourselves. The more complicated the scheme, the better. He would love it. In fact, he'd probably be disappointed if I didn't make this happen. In the world of pranks, this was the big score. And yet, despite all of that, I almost immediately shot the idea down. Because, to be honest, I hated pranks. I mean, I loved the scheming and the secrecy and the planning, but the execution, messing with other people's plans, their emotions, their lives, that just was not me. And I was the wrong guy for this job. But Dave and Junior, they were like brothers to me. And as it often goes with brothers, sometimes it's not about what's a good idea or a bad idea, it's about not being a fucking chicken. I could not back down from this challenge. So I was in. But I knew I couldn't do it on my own. I needed to assemble a team. I wasn't sure who I could trust with a secret of this magnitude. I'd have to keep my team tight. First, I had to secure the key asset, Slider himself. After tracking down his booking information, I had a lovely chat with Slider, whose real name was Dan. He seemed tickled by the idea of traveling cross-country to appear at a wedding reception. And why wouldn't he be? It would be on my dime. In addition to his $300 appearance fee, we'd have to scrape together money for a round-trip flight for him and his assistant, conveniently his wife, as well as hotel accommodations for the weekend. This was not going to be cheap, and I was a broke recent college graduate. We needed a money man, someone with deep pockets. I had Junior place a call to his father, Jim Cabell. The Jim, himself a longtime tribe fan, was exceptionally well connected. Not only did he have the financial resources to back our heist, he owned a hotel near the reception site and could reserve the hotel room for free. Jim heartily approved of the prank. We swore him to secrecy. He was on board. Of course, money was not our only concern. Specifically, there was Maria, Dave's bride-to-be. Now, she handled Dave's gregarious nature in stride, so she might appreciate our little scheme as well. But when it comes to weddings, sometimes people get uptight. She might hate this. I needed to check in with our conscience, Paula Cabell, Dave and Junior's mother. I needed an honest opinion. Would pulling off this stunt make me persona non grata in my best friend's house for the rest of my life? Paula thought it was hilarious. She gave us the thumbs up. I mean, she was a bride once. She ought to know, right? We had money and a green light. Things were in motion. Contracts were signed. As the wedding day approached, I had to fine-tune my plan, figure out every key moment, from Slider's arrival the day before the wedding to the big reveal at the reception. The tricky part was I'd be spending the week before the wedding in California, crashing at Dave and Maria's townhouse, putting the final details of my plan together right under their noses. And to do that, I'd need a serious tech upgrade. I bought my first cell phone just so I could covertly coordinate this plan on the road. It's a flip phone and everything. But while I was there, a detail I had overlooked came to light. While Dave's family were all Clevelanders, and at least they'd get the joke, Maria's family was from Sweden. Many of her relatives didn't speak English. Some were planning to wear traditional Swedish folk dresses to the wedding. What the hell were they going to think of this? But by then, it was too late to turn back. Slider and his assistant had arrived, wheels on the ground in San Jose. This was going to happen. Oh, shit. This was going to happen. And it suddenly hit me that weddings are also planned meticulously, much like my plan. And I was about to throw a wrench into this one. Putting myself in their shoes, I would hate it if somebody did this to me. As the day progressed, I started to feel real nerves. What if the secret got out? What if Maria banned me from the wedding reception? And what if the Swedes? Junior's role in all of this was critical. He was running interference so I could disappear when needed. And at the wedding reception, he played his role perfectly, blocking and distracting any suspicious eyes as I let the DJ and the wedding photographer in on our plan at the last minute. And while I'm conspicuously absent from the photo after the traditional garter toss, no one noticed my frequent visits to the back room to check on Dan and his Slider costume. All that planning, the infiltration, the execution, it all came down to this moment. The lull between dessert and before the open bar spread out into the dance floor. The seventh inning stretch, if you will. 1900 hours, go time. Junior and I took the mic from the DJ and we introduced one of the most popular members of the Cleveland Indians, Slider! The DJ played Cleveland Rocks, naturally. And from the back of the venue, here comes that lovable purple and yellow polka-dotted son of a bitch in an Indians jersey. And it was glorious. Everyone went nuts. They loved it. Junior and I hugged, standing back to witness what we had wrought upon this unsuspecting party. Dave and I hugged. He was ecstatic. And I went over to Maria and gave her a hug, and I apologized for hijacking her wedding. And I waited for the steak knife to pierce my back. But she just said, "This is awesome, thank you!" I should have known that Dave would marry someone who appreciated a good scheme like he did. And for the next 30 minutes, as allotted by his contract, danced and clowned and took photos and signed autographs and led the conga line. There was a moment when one of Dave's friends had to explain to one of the Swedes what Slider's purpose was. And he said, well, he's like a leader for team spirit. And the Swede replied, so, spiritual leader? A few years later, I got married. Dave was my best man. Junior and Maria were there, as were Paula and Jim Cavill. Slider was not, because I hate pranks. And a good friend, a best man, knows when not to mess with a wedding.